Hey you guys, it's Peter and welcome to my channel. Peter likes books. And this is the announcement for the March book for Peter's Book Club. And I'm really excited about this. I know, like, this is going to be so weird because this is not the typical book that I pick for this book club, and I'm going to explain that in just a second. I always have such a hard time picking a book that I am going to, have for whatever month. And last month it was I'm the Girl. No. January was I'm the Girl by Courtney Summers. February was How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix, which I just started. I'm a little bit behind you guys in the reading, but I have, like, so far this year, I've read like 6 or 7 books. So I'm very proud of myself. I'm getting out of my reading slump. It's taking some time to catch up, right? So anyway, I'm going to finish that book here in the next couple of days. But I was sitting around and I was thinking to myself, I don't know what book to pick for March, right? And I really like to announce the books, 2 weeks in advance or whatever, so that people can get them from the library or whatever. And so I was kind of just looking through the New York Times bestseller list. So this is typically what I do for this channel, for the book club, which, if you guys don't know, Peter's Book Club is just something that I post on Instagram. You guys can read it along with me, and then I will do a review of the book. I'm going to be doing a review of I'm the Girl here very soon. I meant to do it, but I'm just things have caught up with me. So I will be doing that review here in the next week sometime. But anyway, so I was looking through a lot of these new books that came out. And I actually was looking through new releases, February 2023, new releases, January 2023, and I couldn't find anything. So y'all know, I'm an avid TV show watcher, okay? And it's something that just in the last year, I've always loved TV, but in the last year, I really started, binge watching TV shows. I think last year in 2022, I binge watched, 80 TV shows, and already this year, I binge watched, 10 or 11 TV shows, so I love to binge watch TV shows. And so I was, reading some article about all of the best new shows that are coming out in 2023. And it was this Rolling Stone article that was talking about Taylor Jenkins Reid's book, Daisy Jones and the Six, is coming out on Amazon Prime. It's already out, okay? So it just came out. They released the first 3 episodes. There's going to be 10 episodes total. And I was like, oh my God. I have wanted to read Daisy Jones and the Six forever. So here's the deal, okay? Several years ago, I don't know who recommended it to me. I saw it on BookTube somewhere, but I read Evelyn Hugo, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Absolutely loved it. I mean, fell in love with this book. It was I think it was my number 1 or 2 book of the year. When I ranked my books, I think it was my number 1 or number 2 book of that year. And so I just I instantly fell in love with her, and I thought she just was this fantastic author. Then I read, I think it was 2 years ago, I read Malibu Rising, which was her newest book. She puts out a book a year, which was her newest book that she put out that year. Fell in love. Loved Malibu Rising. I think it was my number 1 or number 2 book for that year. I loved that book as well. And I actually thought I had read more of her books than I have. I actually read this novella of hers, which is called, hold on a second. Oh, I had it all pulled up and now I don't have it up. But it's this one that takes place in a hotel. It's very sad and tragic. And then I recently bought Carrie Soto Is Back, but I haven't listened to it yet on Audible. Now, for the last several years, I have had Daisy Jones and the Six, okay, on Audible. I think after I read The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, I immediately went in to see what other books Taylor Jenkins Reid had, and because I'm a huge fan of hers, and so I immediately went in to see what other books she had, and then I started downloading books that were available on Audible for her, right? Okay, so that's when I found Daisy Jones and the Six. At that time, a couple people told me that it wasn't their favorite book. When I would talk to them, they'd say, I read it, it was good, it's not my favorite book in the entire world. But then I was having conversations with people, and a couple people said that it reminded them of that movie, why can I not remember the name of the movie, with Kate Hudson, and where she follows a band around. It was one of my mom's favorite movies in the entire world. And so I was like, oh my God, I love that movie so much. It's called American something. I don't know. But anyway, do you guys know what I'm talking about? I should look it up, but I'm not going to. So anyway, So I have been wanting to read Daisy Jones and the Six forever, but it's kind of one of those books for me that it's always like third or fourth off, if that makes sense. So like if I'm like going in and I'm like, okay, what book am I going to read next? Which, by the way, I just finished this book called, hold on a second, let me look. I literally read it in 2 days and it was not worth it. Okay, so the book that I just read, oh shoot, Missing Dead Girls, and it was like 5.5 hours on Audible, and I read it because Nikki read it. So, Nikki, this is for you. I gave it 3 stars, and that was nice. It was not a good book. It was totally not. It was just corny. I just was not into it whatsoever. But I read it because I wanted to read something short, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, when you go into, like, your library, or you go into your books that you're going to read or whatever, right? It's like, okay, I have these 3 or 4 books. Like, which one should I pick? And then there's always, like, the one that you really want to read, and then there's, like, the third down. And for me, Daisy Jones has always been that. It's always been, like, the 3rd or 4th book. Like, yes, I really want to read it, but I can wait 3 or 4 months, right? And so I just kept on pushing it back to the back of my list. So anyway, when I saw that this TV show came out, I thought, oh, no. Like, I am not going to not read this book. Because often, like with 9 Perfect Strangers by Liam O'Leary, I finally got to the point where I was like, I'm just not going to read this book. So, and even though I bought it on Audible, so I was like, I'm just going to watch the show, and I watched the show. But I love Taylor Jenkins Reid so much. I also love Liam O'Leary. But I was like, I'm going to read the book, and then I'm not watching the show until I read the book. So anyway, I was sitting there last night, and I thought, why don't you just make this the March book? You know, I know that there are a lot of people out there that have read the Taylor Jenkins Reid book, but why don't you just make this the March book? And then those people that haven't, those people that have read it, maybe they can start watching the show. You can download Amazon Prime for free for 30 days for trial, and at the end of 30 days, cancel your subscription if you want to. No, this is not a sponsored video, I wish, but I'm just telling you ways to watch it, that way you can see, you know, the episodes or whatever. And so I thought that was another way that we could do it for those people that had, you know, read the book, that they could watch the show, and then we could, like, have this, you know, big discussion about, you know, Daisy Jones and the Six. And for those people that hadn't read it, that were like me, that had read other Taylor Jenkins Reid's books, then it would, you know, we would finally have read it. And maybe for those people that had never been introduced to Taylor Jenkins Reid, well, this is a fantastic way to be introduced to her. So, the March book for Peter's Book Club is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Now, let me go in here really quick, and I want to read the synopsis for you guys. Hold on just a second. Okay. The book actually came out in 2019. It's 355 pages. I think on Audible it's like 10 or 11 hours. And it says, a gripping novel about the whirlwind rise of an iconic 1970s rock group and their beautiful lead singer, revealing the mystery behind their infamous breakup. Everyone knows Daisy Jones and the Six, but nobody knows the real reason why they split at the absolute height of their popularity until now. Daisy is a girl coming of age in LA in the late 60s, sneaking into clubs on the Sunset Strip, sleeping with rock stars and dreaming of singing at the Whiskey A Go-Go. The sex and drugs are thrilling, but it's the rock and roll she loves most. By the time she's 20, her voice is getting noticed, and she is the kind of heedless beauty that makes people do crazy things. Another band getting noticed is the Six, led by the brooding Billy Dunn. On the eve of their first tour, his girlfriend Camelia finds out she's pregnant, and with the pressure of impending fatherhood and fame, Billy goes a little wild on the road. Daisy and Billy cross paths when a producer realizes the key to supercharged success is to put the two together. What happens next will become the stuff of legend. So I'm really, really excited about reading this book. All right, y'all gonna read it with me? Have you already read it? Is it gonna be a reread? Did you hate it? Did you love it? Put it in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.